So yesterday, you finally decided to sit down and study those notes your professor sent for the semester exam. You checked your calendar. Well, there was nothing to worry about. No distractions, no obligations. Everything was clear. You got home, took a short rest, and prepared yourself for a focused study session. Moments later, your phone buzzed. You glanced at it, but reminded yourself, no, not today. That phone could beep itself to exhaustion, but you were committed to studying. Nothing was going to pull you away. And then John called. He had found a hilarious meme and just had to share it with you. You told yourself, it's fine, 5 minutes won't hurt, I'll be right back to the notes. But 5 minutes turned into 15, 15 stretched into 20, and before you knew it, your eyes grew heavy. So you decided to postpone studying until tomorrow. And just like that, the cycle began again. Distraction isn't actually the problem. At first glance, it feels like it. The constant pull of notifications, messages, and fleeting entertainment. Your mind feels like a humming city at rush hour, bouncing from thought to thought, unable to settle. But the truth runs deeper. Your attention wanders because it's searching for something it doesn't yet have. Without a meaningful target, your focus will always be up for grabs. When your brain lacks a clear purpose, it turns to easy comfort wherever it can find it. Scrolling through social feeds, watching videos mindlessly, or drifting into idle thoughts are ways your mind tries to fill an emptiness. And I think that distraction is the symptom. Craving direction is the cause. Your attention isn't something that is stolen from you. It is a force of nature. And like any force of nature, if it lacks a channel, it will seek the path of least resistance. It will meander, it will dissipate, it will drift into the shallowest streams of content until it feels completely drained. When your mind has no worthy target, it will always be up for grabs, like an empty vessel waiting for any impulse to fill it. The human brain is a magnificent, purposeful machine. It evolved not just to idly consume, but to solve problems, to build, to create. It is a tool for navigating the world, for shaping reality. But what happens when you give a complex tool nothing to work on? What happens when a craftsman is given no wood, no stone, no canvas to demonstrate his craft? He gets restless. He begins to fidget. He finds trivial things to occupy his hands because the very nature of his being is to act, not to be idle. This is the psychological reality of our lives today. We have a species hardwired for meaning, living in an age that has stripped away many of the traditional structures that provided it. The German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche spoke of the will to power, which emphasizes not just political dominance, but self-overcoming, growth, and the assertion of individuality. Not a will to dominate others, but a fundamental biological drive to expand, to grow, and to overcome oneself. It is the drive to fully utilize one's potential, to create one's own meaning in a universe that offers none by default. So whenever this primal will has no external outlet, no grand project to attach itself to, it turns inward and becomes a source of anxiety, a restless torment that we desperately seek to numb. In other words, distraction is just a form of self-medication for an unfocused life. It is the low-cost, low-effort way our minds attempt to fulfill that will to power, but it only reinforces the emptiness. The antidote to this chaos is not a new productivity hack or a digital detox. The antidote is obsession, but not the kind that traps you in rumination or a spiral of anxiety. The right kind of obsession is a deep, singular focus on a meaningful task. When you dedicate your mental energy to building something, learning something, or creating something that truly matters to you, an alchemy occurs. The fragmented noise of the world recedes. The constant craving of novelty subsides. The mind, finally given a worthy challenge, begins to lock in. Think about all the great inventors in history. They were people who were grounded in obsession over something they considered meaningful, and that perpetual demonstration of uncloud focus made way for the great things the world enjoys today. Psychologist Mihai Csikszentmihalyi called this state flow, a state of complete immersion in an activity. During flow, you lose track of time, of your self-consciousness, even of your hunger. The neurobiology is fascinating. Brain activity in the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for self-monitoring and critical thinking, decreases. You stop worrying about what others think. You stop second-guessing yourself. You are simply one with the task. This is not a state of being without distractions.
It is a state where the meaningfulness of the task makes distraction irrelevant. You are not fighting. You are simply existing in the current of your purpose. This is liberation, not restriction. So, how do you access this? You must give your attention a target. A vague desire to be better or do more is not enough. Your mind needs a clear, visceral vision. It's not about perfection, it's about specificity. Ask yourself not what you want to achieve, but what you want to become. What does that version of you look like, feel like, act like 3 to 5 years from now? Don't think about the how yet, just paint the picture. Is it someone who wakes up early to write? Is it someone who has mastered a new skill? Is it someone who is building a business, a family, or a community? Your vision is not a destination, it's a compass. It is the one thing that will give your mind a true north, an orienting point to return to when it gets lost in the noise. Once you have this vision, the distractions will still exist, the notifications will still buzz, but their power will diminish because your mind has a more compelling signal to follow. It has a home to return to. The simple act of breaking this vision into a single, concrete, actionable step, like writing one sentence, sending one email, making one phone call, creates a trajectory. It's the first step of a journey, and every step reinforces your purpose, giving your brain the tangible proof of progress it craves. Your mind is a complex and sensitive system, and it's been conditioned to seek instant gratification. It's been trained by billion-dollar algorithms that exploit its craving of novelty. It is a nervous system perpetually on high alert. The book The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Kolk argues that trauma, both personal and collective, can lock the nervous system into a state of chronic hyperarousal, leaving us unable to focus and at the mercy of every new stimulus. In this sense, distraction can be a psychological defense mechanism that the mind uses to avoid the deeper, unresolved anxieties that lie beneath the surface. To reclaim your mind, you must create sanctuary. This is where boundaries come in. Boundaries are not about discipline, they are about protection. They are a declaration to yourself that this space and this time are sacred. They are where you cultivate your focus and where you do your most important work. Turn off unnecessary notifications. Silence your phone. Designate a specific time and a physical space for deep work. This is not about restricting yourself. You are giving yourself the gift of uninterrupted luxury of single tasking. And every time you choose to stay, to resist the pull, you are not just getting a task done. You are rewriting the wiring of your brain. You are building the muscle of attention. You are telling your mind that its craving for direction is not only valid, but that you are finally providing it with a worthy challenge. So let's reframe the battle. It's not about stopping distraction. It's about cultivating purpose. It's about moving from a state of mindless reaction to one of intentional creation. The noise will always be there, but it will no longer own you. You will become the master of your attention, and in doing so, you will unlock the quiet power that lies beneath the surface of all that chaos. This is the next step of your journey. Find your purpose. Give your mind a reason to aim. Because without a target, your focus will always be up for grabs. But with one, obsession becomes your superpower. Focus becomes your freedom. This is depth. We don't chase trends. We follow meaning.